Hi, this is Tim from lapsonshutter.com, and today we're going to cover what to do if your Samsung TV is not recognizing its HDMI input. So it's a pretty easy thing to fix. I'm going to cover 7 possible fixes for your Samsung TV. I'll only cover them briefly. If you want more details on each of them, then just have a look at the linked article in the video description below. So the best way to fix your HDMI ports not working is just to cold boot your TV. So it's very easy to do. Just for Samsungs, you just plug your TV in, switch it on, and then pull the plug out of the wall socket. Wait for 10 seconds, and then plug your TV back in and try switching it on. That's the manufacturer's recommendation. You can also, if that doesn't work, just try switching it off, unplugging it, and then holding down the physical power button on the TV for 15 seconds. Wait for about 30 minutes or so for any residual power to drain, and then plug your TV back in and switch it on again. For most people, that will fix their HDMI input problems. If not, there's a strong possibility that it's caused by a poorly seated HDMI cable, or a damaged HDMI port, or just a poor connection. So something like a bent pin, the cable or connector. So just have a look at all of your cables, just unplug them, take a look at them, check there's no bent pins or any corrosion or anything. You could try cleaning them with compressed air and then just firmly push them back in. It's also worth trying them in a different HDMI socket, particularly if it's an HDMI socket that's on a different part of the TV, because that should have a different connection to the TV's main board. You can also just make sure that your TV and device HDMI specifications are matching up. So the most recent Samsung TVs support HDMI 2.1, which is backwards compatible with the older specifications, but it uses a new cable design for 4K 120Hz viewing. So if you're attempting to plug an HDMI 2.1 device into a TV with an older HDMI port, then there's a possibility that the device is sending a signal that the TV can't interpret. So you should be able to just change the settings within your device. So this is if you're trying to plug in a cable box or something into your TV. It could be speaking in a different HDMI language. You should also just try updating your TV's firmware. So software and firmware issues are pretty common causes of these kinds of problems. So press menu or home button in your remote, go to settings, then software update, and check auto update is on. For older TVs, you'll need to update the firmware by USB, and there's more details on how to do this in the linked article below. Samsungs also have an HDMI Self-Test, which can be a useful tool. So to get to that, just press home on your remote and then go to settings and support, then device care, self-diagnosis and HDMI troubleshooting, and you can then run through each HDMI port in turn, and it will let you know if there's any problems and give you some advice on how to fix them. If you're using eARC, so ARC, then you need to make sure you're using at least an HDMI 1.4 specification cable, and you'll also make sure you need to use the eARC HDMI port on your Samsung TV, which will be labelled as well. If you want to use eARC, you also need to enable AnyNet Plus, which is the HDMI CEC on your Samsung. So just press home, go to settings, general, external device manager, and find AnyNet Plus and click to activate it. If you have connected a device through HDMI ARC and it's got no sound on your Samsung, then that's probably because your speaker does not have the ARC input activated. For non-Samsung speakers connected to a Samsung TV, you'll need to set HDMI as a sound output on your TV. So go to Home, Settings, Sound Output, and then choose Receiver HDMI. You can try resetting all of your HDMI ports with a factory reset of your Samsung. So go to settings on your TV, general and privacy, reset, and enter your PIN, which by default should be 4 zeros, and just fully factory reset your TV, including resetting the HDMI ports. If none of those work, then just have a look at the linked article below, which has got a lot more detail. There could be something that you're missing, and I'm pretty confident if you follow the steps in that, then you should get your HDMI input working again.